Morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Elise. Get your black ass up. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Get your black ass up. I'm with you, Larry. We had to talk about that this morning, Larry. Hope everybody's well. Elise, I hope you're doing good today. I hope today. Good morning, Elise. I hope today is a good day. Hey, Praying Royster, welcome. Welcome to the Black Ass Bunch, Praying Royster. You're not Dr. Royster's child, are you? Let's get it crunk. Come on in here. Praying, are you related to Dr. Royster at Morgan State University? Okay, Dr. Royster was the head of the art department when I was there. And I very seldom see the last name Royster. So, welcome, Praying. Welcome to the Black Ass Bunch. You are now an official member. Hey, Ruth Perkins. Good morning. How are you? Ruth, are you new too? Praying, are you new? Lorenzi Moore, are y'all? Oh, Lorenzi knows what's up. Good morning, good morning. Ruth, you new here? Well, Ruth, welcome to Clair Live. Our motto here is get your black ass up. This is the Black Ass Bunch. Everybody, y'all welcome Ruth to the group. Praying, are you new as well? Look at Tony. Tony talking about, I'm new. Tony, you ain't nobody's new. Praying is new as well, everybody. Y'all say good morning to Praying. See, I can see everybody's comments when they go up. That's how, and I notice most of the names because we've been doing this since January. Elise is so Praying and Ruth. Praying and Ruth, our good friend Elise, who you'll see in your comment section. Our good friend Elise is going through chemo. She's fighting a good fight. We are over here saying up cancer, and we are pulling for our sister Elise. She is in Dallas getting treatment. She's from Midland, Texas, though. She's in Dallas getting treatment. So we just want to send her all the light and the love that we possibly can. Up cancer. Another thing y'all need to know about this show is all the music you will hear here and all the rapping you will hear here is done by me. Yes, I'm a 50-year-old rapping dude. Thank you, Regina. Thank you, Regina. Regina, you new? Regina, are you new here as well? So listen, everybody, do I need to tell, is it too early to tell the new people our favorite song? From our girl, India Ivory. Welcome, Regina. Thank you for the love. She's watching my new show, The DMV Zone. Thank you, Regina. But I don't act like I do on TV on here, Regina. I'm a little different here. All right. If I get 10 people to all right, I need 10 people to type out the name of our favorite India Irie song before I sing it this morning. Before I sing it, y'all got to spell it out. All right, I got 2 people mentioning brown skin so far. I need 3 more. I need 7 more people, 8 more people. If I get 10 people to list the name of the song, I'm singing. Thank you, Wallace. All right, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. All right, here we go. So, Ruth. Ruth and Praying. And what was the other new sister's name? Swan. And what's the sister's name? Just told me she was new. Who? Lucretia Bradford. You knew as well. For all the new people, our favorite song, and we really singing this. We really are singing this to our good friend Elise. This is Elise's favorite song. Now, before I sing, I have to put this in context. We are imagining that our great queen, India Arie, has lived to be 99 years old. She is out on tour. She is touring with 100-year-old Lil' Kim. and some other people. And Grace Jones. And the song goes, brown skin, you. All right, I'm really silly this morning. Brown skin, you know I love her brown skin. I can't tell where hers begins. And I can't tell where mine is. Whoa, brown skin, you know. She ain't forget the words. She just be posing. She put a pause in it. She ain't forget the words. And I can't tell where mine is. Whoa. She's in her right mind. She just put a pause in there for effect. The India Arie ain't forgetting words in 99. Yeah, Regina, it's the long pause. That's how India Arie gonna kill it. She gonna kill it. Yeah, because she tired. No, she had to check her emails. Did you see her check her emails and look under some shit, drink her coffee? That's how she gonna be singing. I'm not the average girl from your videos. My worth don't come from the price of my clothes. I learned to love myself unconditionally. The India Arie. And I can't tell what mine's is. Listen, when you sing it, if you don't get dizzy, you ain't doing it right. When you sing this song and you don't get dizzy, you are not doing it right. All right, y'all. All right, so of course we have to address the elephant in the room. We have to address, I don't want to address the elephant in the room. Sharon, what Shalonda say? And I can't tell what mine is. Whoa, brown skin. Katrina, I just looked at your name and realized that your name is Cat Williams. Look, y'all. This woman's name is Cat Williams. What up, Cat? How you doing? How you doing this morning, Cat? Huh? 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 This is a shame. This man has died. This man has passed away today. I'm going to post it, send it up to y'all right now. Yes. So, we have to say rest in peace to Takeoff today. Let's have a moment of silence for the brother. Rest in peace. Takeoff from the Migos. Matter of fact, let me leave the picture up. I'm going to leave the picture up here. This is very sad, disturbing. It's just sad, man. It is really sad. And we have this discussion. We've had this discussion and have this discussion here on this show time and time again on this live. We have this discussion time and time and time again. And what I want to say is, here's what I want to say for everybody here is new this morning. What I want to say is while we had a moment of silence for Takeoff, we also need to have a moment of silence for every other young brother who was shot in the streets of America yesterday. Yes, I feel bad for Takeoff, but I feel equally bad for the state of young black men and the ones who weren't rappers, the ones whose names we do not know, the names who were not, the ones who were not celebrities, whose families are grieving right now, whose potential has been snuffed out right now. Yes, this brother is, he did incredible things while he was here, so of course we need to celebrate that as well. But let's not forget that he was not the only person around our country who was killed last night by gun violence. DC, New York, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Houston, Dallas, you name it. You name the city, Chicago, Detroit, you name the city. You name the city and the outlying small towns. Gun violence is real. Gun violence amongst young black men is very, very real. I keep preaching this one, but I have been watching this since 1983, 84. Was the first time I knew someone who got killed in the streets senselessly. Got killed for his shoes. This was somebody I personally knew. And I cannot think of a year. I can't even think of a month. I can't even think of a week since then, 1984, where I haven't heard about a young black man being killed by gun violence. Either it makes the news or someone we know in our neighborhood. It makes national news. It makes local news. It makes, it happens to someone you know or somebody on the, such and such brother or such and such cousin or such and such. Remember, you remember your man, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he got killed. This has been part of our lives. I can't remember a time when it wasn't. So, rest in peace to the good brother Takeoff. Rest in peace. And what I would say to us, the living, those of us who are still here, what are you going to do about it? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue to do the best I can to work with the young men that I work with, the young people I service. I'm going to try to bring as much light to their plight as I possibly can. I'm going to get up, get out, do something. And that's me doing my part. So each of us have to do our part. If you feeling some kind of way about it this morning, the solution, do your part. Volunteer, mentor, donate. What are other things we could do? What can we do? Continue to pray. Teach young people how to pray. Teach young men how to pray. Teach young men how to meditate. Teach young men how to believe in themselves. Teach young men how to be confident. Teach young men that the comfort zone that they are in could be detrimental. Teach young men and women to expand their horizons and what they know. Teach them that this is a gigantic world, that you do not have to be confined by this limited understanding of what keeping it real or being a thug or hood is or blackness is. That's our job, the living. That is our job. And make sure we don't get distracted by the bullshit. So, once again, rest in peace to the good brother Takeoff. You did your thing. You did your thing. You did your thing while you were here, my good brother. For those of us who are still here, we have a job to do. We have a job to do. Mary Wanda say, stop kicking our kids out at 18. My kids got to go at 18. But if they are prepared, they will be fine. They need to go ahead and go and seek their life out. It's their life. They need to go ahead and go. I don't believe in letting them stay and keeping them here forever. I left at 18. You can leave at 18. Shit, my father left at 16. You can go. And he was a very successful man. My mother left at 17. She was very successful. Me and all my siblings are very successful. All of us got the fuck out at 18. My kids leaving at 18. But it's what we giving our kids at 18. It's what we giving them. People like to say that, the world done changed. But people have. Being smart hasn't changed. Common sense ain't changed. Got to go. Got to go. You got to go. The human being, the human species is the only animal on the planet that say, stay longer, stay till you're an adult. Mary Wanda say it's a different world now. Actually, it's an easier world now. It ain't a different world. What more hardship do they have now that we ain't had back then? I put myself through college. I worked 3 jobs, put myself through college, leaving home at 18. But, Mary, to your point, my parents had equipped me with the things I needed to know by the time I was 18, so I was gone. The belief that the world, listen, this past weekend, I was with a 28-year-old brother who owns his own grocery store. He employs his mother, his father, his sister, and everybody else. He left home at 18. We can't expect great things from our children if we give them we can't expect them to be great if we coaching them to be not great. Go be great. And I think praying, you have a great, this is my point, Mary. Let me say it a different way. I have nothing against anyone who allows their kid to stay, right? I have nothing against anyone who allowed their kid to stay. In this family, the household I live in, at 18 years old, I should have done my job for you to be able to go. And if I haven't done that, it's not nothing about you. It's about me. It's what the fuck I didn't do. Now, I've been priming these kids since they was 2. so that by the time they 18, they can go. We have businesses in their names. They walk with me to watch me do professional shit. I encourage critical thinking. They have their own bank accounts. They have their own investment accounts. They have their own credit cards. They about to start paying their own phone bills and taking care of their own shit. So by the time that these kids are 18 and they on their way to college or on their way to wherever they live by themselves, they are equipped. It is not foreign. It is not something that they cannot do. Mature. That's just what it's gonna be. That's what the fuck it's gonna be at my house. I'm pointing to my children. They gotta get up out of here now. If you notice that your child needs to stay a little longer, their maturity level isn't there, or if you're fearful that child just doesn't know enough to go out into this world, I get it. I'm not throwing any stones at you. I'm not saying anything. I'm not looking at you any kind of way. And great point, Mary. Mary says parents ain't parenting these days. Only issue is, Mary, my kids got an old ass daddy and an old mama. We the old parents. You understand what I'm saying? And we from the 80s. We come from the 80s, from the hustler generation. You understand what I mean? My kids, all of our kids' friends' parents are at least 10 years younger than me. You feel what I'm saying? So the shit that my daughter know, some of the parents ain't even figured out yet. You see what I'm saying? The shit that my son, the things that my son knows, the things that he says to me, I'm like, oh, this man been here before. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to parents aren't parenting these days, I can't worry about those parents. I can't worry about those children. I have to allow my children to soar, not just get out and be okay. I gotta let them fly and soar. I need these kids to go. And we've set them up to do so. My parents set me up to do so, and my job is to set them up to do so. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job with that. You understand what I mean? Karen Owens Emery asks, will you pay for their tuition? If I have to, if I need to. Hopefully the businesses that we set up for these kids is paying the majority of that tuition for them. And if we really pushing these kids in these next couple of years, they might have enough money to bypass college and become business owners and just go to school later. I know for me, and I tell my kids this all the time, that me taking 4 years of college I would have been much better doing 4 years of college in my 30s as opposed to my teens and my 20s, because I didn't feel like being an academic. But I did learn how to be a man at Morgan State University. I did learn how to be an adult. I did learn how to get the fuck head on and go, boy did I. Woo! Look at me! Brown skin. You know I love that brown skin. And here's the other part is I'm a bit untraditional as well. I'm a bit untraditional in that, I was an artist coming out of high school. I saw the world differently. You know what I mean? I was happy to be outside the box. And by the time I'm leaving Morgan State University, I had a different mindset. I was like, anything's possible. I can go be whatever I want. And to this day, I've never really, the radio show that I started when I was in my late 40s was the first job I had since I was 23 years old. So for 20 plus years, I never clocked into I never did a time sheet. I didn't get money every 2 weeks. I ain't had none of that. I had hustle up the money, and I hustle up the money. And that's what I'm teaching my kids. So they got to go at 18. Now, my man Jay Sun says, I wasn't ready for America at 18. Those streets were unforgiving. Luckily, I was protected, but I wasn't prepared at 18. It took me till about 25 years old to understand the system that I was surrounded by. Now, and that's an honest assessment by that brother who's a great brother right now, who's a very, very forward-thinking, thought-provoking brother. And I'm glad, that's a real assessment. These kids of mine got to go. But I will be there to support them while they are gone. You understand what I'm saying? I will support them while they are gone. You understand what I mean? I will support them while they are gone. And I'm exposing them to the world every day. I'm hoping that the exposure that I am giving them gives them a broad sense of who they are, a broad sense of the world, and they become those kinds of people who get to navigate that in their own way, starting when they're 20. We have to support the people in our communities who are creating programming for kids without enlightened parents. Let's support them so that they can do more. I'm with you, Praying. Right. I'm right there with you, Praying. It's and let me say this. It's not as simple as I'm making it sound. It's definitely not as easy as I'm making it sound. It was hard. I ain't gonna front for a second. The shit was difficult when I didn't have money. It's January the 22nd. School starts on the 23rd, and I do not have money. And my parents do not have the funds. My parents, they had my little sister was in school, and my parents had enough money to pay for one of us. The baby sis got to get it. I had to get it. This shit was not easy. I had job after job after job. I had, holes in the bottom of the shoes. I had a pair. They used to join me out on the campus. I had a pair of shoes. This the shoe. This the sole, and the sole used to peel off of the shoe. The sole used to peel off the shoe like that. Oh, they used to, I used to be, I was a breakfast stealing motherfucker at Morgan State University. You hear me? Yes. Monica said, what were your jobs while you were at Morgan? I was an RA in the dorms, and I worked at Pizza Hut down Moravia. So I worked at one year I still worked at Pizza Hut on the weekends here in DC. So I would work 2 or 3 weekends out the month when I would come. Listen, y'all. Let me tell y'all what I would do. And this is what you got to instill in your kids. So one, I would first finagle myself back into school. Then I would go try to find some student loan money that would come in the next couple 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. And I would go in there and I would charm the shit out of the student loan people in the student loan office. I would be by them up, bringing people lunch, anything to keep myself in school. And then I would go fall on the sword and tell them, if I have to leave school, I'm going to be out in the streets. And the streets is eating young black men up. Of course, this is in the 90s. They ain't want to let young black men, take that L. So I was an RA in the dorm, so that gave me free housing. I worked at Pizza Hut. Down Moravia, or Pizza Hut at Hampton Mall. I would come home on the weekends. And then, Monica, you remember I threw parties. I don't know if you remember me throwing parties, but for 2 years, I threw parties and used that party money to pay my tuition. I would go in there after every party and give them people I'm walking in that motherfucker with, $1,000 in ones. And nickels and pennies and quarters, and I'm giving them everything. And then I'm, using this Pell Grant money, and using this money, and boom, boom, boom. Now, when I graduated, I still had a debt to Morgan State University, and I still had some outstanding student loans, but I paid them off as soon as I could. When I got out, I hustled that money up, and that's that. So those were my jobs, and that was my thinking. I see the shoe, nigga. Yeah, my shoes were talking. It was something else. And so, but I had watched my brothers hustle their way into school, into college, and do their thing. My parents were both, my dad, like I said, my dad was the weed man as well as an attorney. So he showed me the dichotomy, the duality. You do legit over here and then you hustle the system over here. That was game. I was like, that's game. He was like, watch them streets. You ain't ready. I learned when I was 16 that the streets was not for me. I did not do the streets. Now, Jason and all my brothers who survived the streets, I always give y'all all the motherfucking love I can. You hear me? Ooh! Cause I got caught with drugs 10 minutes after I got them. And they almost sent me to jail, and that was the last time I tried to sell some drugs. I was in 11th grade, and that was it. I knew the streets wasn't for me. And luckily, art was. Thus, ta-da, I made a decision right then and there at 17. When I got caught, I was like, all right, you know what? I don't like this. I don't like the way the police talk to us. I don't like the way I got caught trying to sell some drugs, and the kids, it was some other kids in there, some other real goons, and they laughed at me so hard because they was like, "You not the kind. This ain't for you." And then the guy who caught me, yes, 10-minute hustler, Murray. Now it's funny, we can laugh at it, but it was a defining moment. That when I got caught, that changed everything for me. Because I was 17 and I had to make a decision. Was I going to try to be cool and play up my macho masculinity? Or was I going to take that L and go do some goofy shit in the art room? I went to do goofy shit in the art room. Saved my life. I know it saved my life. I know for a fact it saved my life. Jay, you say you wasn't ready at 18? Shit. Them streets would have ate my motherfucking ass up had I not made that decision. Once I got caught, Mary, real talk, Mary, once I got caught, and I had to not only face them kids in there who laughed at me, and then I had to face, the guy who was, the security guy who caught me. When I had to get home and face my parents, I was like, you know what? This ain't it. This definitely ain't it. This ain't it. This definitely is not it. So I was like, there's other options. Luckily, I had seen my brothers. My older brothers went on to college, so on and so forth. Now, my brother I have two older brothers, one who's 7 years in front of me, one who's 5 years in front of me. The brother who is 5 years in front of me, all of his friends were going to prison or dying. All of them. And my brother was on that path, and then he went away to Morgan State University, and he was never the same person ever again. He was like the most on August when he left, he was the most evil. He was just mean and evil, and just treated us like shit, right? He was a broken person who was doing all the streets say that you do when you 17. Let's fight. Let's prove our masculinity. Let's break into something. Let's do devious shit just to prove that we can be as more devious than the next motherfucker. However, he went away to Morgan State University, and then I went to see him in October. August, he was evil. October, I come and see him, and he gave me the biggest hug. My brother had never hugged me in my whole life. And he gave me a hug. It scared the dog shit out of me. It scared the living dog shit out of me when my brother hugged me, because he had never hugged me before. And the criminal guy who I knew as a teen has never shown his face ever again. My brother now lives in New York, in Long Island, New York. He's a grandfather. He has a beautiful family. He's been in corporate America for the past 30 years and is excellent. He turned his back on the streets. My parents equipped him, though, to turn his back on that bullshit and to go elsewhere and do something else. Was it hard? Hell yeah. I mean, my brother's first apartment was this big. His first apartment was that big. But he made it pop. And those are the stories. Those are the things that we have to give our kids. And I know I'm going to do it with mine. And I'm going to tell my kids about the 10-minute hustler. I done told my daughter about it. My son don't know about that story yet. And you see what my man Jay Son said, nigga, I enrolled in college the day after I got out. I was like, fuck this. Fuck that. You see what the man say? And y'all see what just happened yesterday with this, we having it, for anybody who's just checking in, we having a discussion this morning, sort of based off of the fact that that Takeoff passed away, and one of the things was about, what do we do for our young people, those in our house and then those in the community to slow some of that down. I don't believe that. I personally don't believe that kids need to stay home longer. I don't think that that's the solution. But of course, I could be wrong. I am judging from my own experience. It's, everybody ain't me. Everybody didn't grow up like I grew up. So whatever it is that you have to do to hold on, to preserve life, the life of your child, you do what you got to do. You do what you got to do. You know what I mean? So, you do what you got to do. My man Jay Son, who was here, said he got to college. He went to college as soon as he got out. He said them streets was, No. Dexter Hawkins says, look, I was a church musician. I worked at a pawn shop, worked at an after-school program, and marched in the marching band at Albany State. That's my frat brother. He's a newt. I was determined not to let the streets get me. And you got to instill that in. You have to, it's a difficult thing, but it's one of those tasks that black fathers are tasked with. Do not let these streets get your boy. How do you do that? You do that with love and encouragement. Even though my father had a hard line, my father told me he loved me every day. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty shit. My father told me he loved me every time I talked to him. Him and my mother were divorced. My dad didn't know how to keep his hands to himself, and my mother divorced him. I was 3 or 4. And after that, I saw my dad on the weekends. I saw him sometimes. He would pop up at school. My dad would pop up at school. Sometimes he would do our field trips, but mostly on the weekends, and I would go spend weekends with him, and I would talk to him, 2 or 3 times out the week. And there was never a day. Now, his parents never told them that they loved him. That was his thing. I found one letter from his mother that told, after he passed away, we found a letter from his mother actually stating, I love you. But his thing was his mother never said to him and wasn't affectionate to him. So he made sure, thank you, Keisha. Yeah, Keisha lived in the same building as my dad. I remember your dad. We lived in the same spot in Southwest. For anybody Keisha, I hope you got to know him, because my father was wild as shit. But he told me he loved me every single time I spoke to him. You understand what I mean? You know what that means for a black boy? For the black man right here, do you know what the fuck that really means for a black boy? One, he was once a black boy who had never heard it. So my mother instilled it in him, and he gave it to me. But he didn't understand what it was doing for me. Because when I had to go face him, that day that I got caught with them drugs, I had to go face the one person I knew who loved me unconditionally. And I knew I had disappointed him. I knew I had let him down. I didn't feel bad about the ass whipping that was coming or any of that, the punishment that was coming. I had let my mans down. My man and my mama. Oh, man. Every day he told me he loved me. Every time I talked to him, he told me he loved me. He was affectionate. We hugged every time. And his friends would come by and just look like, y'all look at, man, y'all hug all on y'all dash. Yeah, I can't help it. That's my man right there. That's my main apple scrapple. And I would hug him and kiss him on his old head and everything. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't never rubbed his feet or no shit like that, but I would hug him and kiss him as much as I could. And people thought it was weird. I never forget a lady broke up with my dad. A lady my dad was seeing said that he was making us soft. You raising a bunch of punks, right? Saying that we wasn't gonna be shit. And, you know, he proved her completely wrong. But she had, also, that lady didn't know my mom. See, now, while I'll tell the story about my dad, my mom was such a bad motherfucker that, you know, so you gonna win with her. So, part of the personal part. Oh, yeah. This lady told my father, because we asked her where she was. We asked about the lady he was seeing. He said, nah, she don't come around no more. Years later, he told us that she told him that, you know, she didn't approve of the way that he was raising us. He was making us soft. And, you know, I don't know what that lady's boys went on to not do a damn thing. She had 2 boys. And they went on to not do a damn thing with their time. I think they still trying to figure it out. You feel me? They still trying to figure it out. And they older than me. That's a very practical thing to do, Jay. There you go, Jay. Woo! Ah! I love this show. I think we found the beginning to the answer. Tell your sons, brothers, fathers, uncles, cousins, etc. that you love them. Say it. People say, oh, you got to show it. But you know how hard it is for a black man to say it? Saying it, when a black man say that's him showing it. Because it's hard. It's hard for a black man to say it. You hear me? That was real talk, Robin. That was real talk, Robin. This lady told my dad that she was raising us soft. Now, my brother was gay, so she thought that this was a result of him telling us he loved us. No, he was already my brother was already what he was gonna be, and that's what it is. One of the craziest memories I had was to hear my parents tell me that I disappointed them in my decisions. It hurt so bad. Yes. I try my best not to say that to my kids until they do something that just is, you know, just the fuck are you doing? I don't say, that's how I feel. I be feeling like, what the fuck are you doing? That's when I am disappointed. And you should see, I see my son's face. And it hurt me so bad to look in his face. But in lieu of me taking off the belt or in lieu of me raising it, I've got to have something that's effective to get through. And that's that thing. It used to be the belt. You know, my mother believed that belt. You know, my mother was an ass whooper. My dad had stopped whipping ass once my mother put him out. So my mother was the ass whooper. So she would get through with that belt. But then once I got grown, I think the last time she pulled the belt out, I think I might have been 12. 11, I was in the 5th grade. No, I was 11. I was 11. And that was the last time. After that, she said, I never forget my mother saying, you all are too big for me to beat. You all are too big for me to hit you. And so she went to other tactics. And boy, that day I came home from Largo High School, about to be expelled from all Prince George's County public schools because I was dumb enough to think that I could cheat the system and sell drugs in school. And she told me how disappointed she was. Changed my life. Changed my life. Changed my life. Changed my life. I'm not an ass whipping around here. We've pulled the belt out once or twice, but we've noticed that we have very well behaved, well-rounded kids who are very aware of themselves. My son just won his election at school. Yeah, my son is now the student body representative at his school, as well as he does the morning show for his school. The morning announcements, he produces a show, he edits it on his computer, sends it in, and they run it. And he plays basketball. He's a great player. I'm not gonna say he's the star, but he is the point guard. That's my boy, right? He plays video games, and he's also interested in he's an aware boy. My daughter, oh Lord, this one, about to be 13. She plays volleyball. She chose volleyball. She chose softball. She plays softball, plays volleyball. What up, Adrian? She is a straight A student for the most part, A's and B's. Like I said, she owns a lip gloss company. She knows how to bake cakes, cookies, pies from scratch by herself. Like we'll come downstairs and it'll just be cookies, fresh baked cookies downstairs, and they be bomb. And she done made them by herself. And she started that when she was 9 or 10. Thank you, Keisha. We working hard. Congratulations, Joe. Sounds like you and the missus are doing a great job on your babies. We are working on these kids day in and day out. It's one of the pillars of our marriage. I ain't even gonna front. It's the days that we be mad at each other. Let me go ahead and put this shit out here. The days that we be mad at she and I ain't seeing eye to eye. Them kids bring us back to the reality that we are building a legacy here. We not just having babies. We're making whole ass people. We're making a person. You're not having a baby. You're making a person. You're not raising a child. You're making a person. And we remember that shit all the time. So even when I don't be fucking with her. And I'm sure she be over there, ooh, I can't stand this nigga. Them kids is our legacy. And eventually, after we not mad at each other, that calms down, and then we do some shit together. Then we get back to loving up on each other. Period. Period. You understand what I'm saying? See you later, Tiffany. Tiffany's baby's having a birthday at school. Right, that's what you do. That's right. Tiffany says, my apologies. I gotta go be super mom. My baby girl is having a bad day at school. Repressed feelings are real. Glad she know to tell someone. Y'all pray for me and mine. This time of year, it's hard for us. Boom. Prayers. Prayers to you, Tiff. Prayers for your baby girl. Yeah, you making a whole person. And that's the part that we don't even remember. You making a whole motherfucker. And that person, I hate to say it, but it's the same thing when they used to say, oh, you ain't got no home training. Because home training shows, when people are out in the streets acting out, it shows what's going on in the home. You understand what I mean? It shows how that person manifests, shows what happened in the home. So they are a direct reflection of your ass. Of your ass. If my son out here acting a motherfucking fool, it's because I've allowed him to act a motherfucking fool. You feel me? I was a joke teller in school. I was gregarious and all that other shit. Got it from my dad. But I also was studious at times. Was very aware and very creative. Got it from my mom. Stayed the fuck out of trouble. I might be loud, but I stayed the fuck out of trouble. It's real shit. So for all of the parents out there, remember that. Start with what Jay said, man. Let me go back to Jay's sons. Boy, you got... Jay, son, you won today. Jay, you win today. That man said, I think... Yes, let me turn the music up just a little bit. We're going to make this a clip. Yes, my man Jay, son. You win. You win today, Jay, son. Jay-son said, I think we found the beginning to the answer. Tell your sons, brothers, fathers, uncles, cousins, etc. that you love them. That is a great start. My father told me he loved me every time I spoke to him. Therefore, I am a loving father by default. A loving father can always get a better result than a raggedy ass daddy. Now, I have to be a disciplined father. I have to stand on the shit that I say. I do got to be tough at times. I have to come in this motherfucker and pound my fist at times. But at the end, even after that, yes, I am upset, but I love you. I will see you. Go to your room. Go handle the business I told you to handle. I'll see you when you come back. And hopefully when you come back after you've done what you've done, my attitude has changed. But I love you, son. You the best thing I ever seen. You and your sister, best damn thing I ever seen. Give that to our sons and our daughters. And imagine what could happen if for 10 years straight, every black man told his son that he loved him. Or we don't even need every black man. Imagine if 50% of all black men told their sons every time they spoke to them how much they loved them. There will be a 50% change, but it will become exponential. You understand what I'm saying? And that's a start. It's only a start, y'all. It's not the whole solution. I don't think that that's the whole solution to any problem. But I do know that in my case, I don't have a criminal record. I've never been arrested. I ain't got no kids walking around out this motherfucker. I'm in the house with a wife and kids. I own properties. I'm a marginally successful businessman. I can make a direct correlation between my father and mother telling me they love me and pouring into me and the results that I'm getting right now. I want to put that out there. It's 9:55. It's 9:55. 9:55. For anybody here who is new, I need to say this to you. Brown skin. You know I love that brown skin. I can't tell where hers begins. And I can't tell where mine ends. Whoa. I say hers because she right out there outside that door. She right up the steps working. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in to the DMV zone. Thank you, Robin. That casket story was crazy as shit, wasn't it? Make sure y'all check out the DMV zone. Check out fox5dc.com so y'all can see all of the stories that we'll be talking about on on my show today. For those who don't know, I am on a brand new show called the DMV Zone, 3 o'clock every day on Channel 5. Channel 5 here in Washington, D.C. That's Fox 5. And for anybody who was here that is new, I don't know if you know that I'm a rapper for real, praying. Yes, there you go, Darrell. Darrell said, my mom never said I love you. So now when she does it, it feels awkward. I take it, but it feels weird sometimes. And it's going to, and it should. Because it's out of, but take it anyway. Take that. You know how weird it was hugging my dad in front of my friends when I was 19? But I was like, fuck them. This is my man. I'm loyal to him. I just met y'all niggas. So hug my dad and give him a kiss on the head. I'm going to run my video. I love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Brown skin. Check it out, all my new people. All my new people. I released this about 2-3 years ago. Check it out. This is my shit. I produced this record. I did the track. I did the rhyme. Everything else. I'll holler at y'all.
I said he don't like me. She don't like me. Everybody seems to want me. Gone, gone, gone. But fuck it, they wrong, wrong, wrong. I said he don't like me and she don't like me. Everybody seems to want me. Gone, gone, gone. But fuck it, man, all y'all wrong. Caught up in the characters of America's fucked up narrative. They say the straight black man in the black community is a terrorist. Straight black man can't never win. Straight black man is gon' need a therapist. Cause the straight black man is the worst that it's ever been. Blaming me for shit I ain't never did. Man, can't a nigga ever live? Can't a nigga ever live? I've been out here killing it. Still trying to sell me that I'm ignorant. Demon can't tell I'm different and diligent. Demon can't tell what a nigga been. Born suspect, what a nigga been innocent. Man up on them and they mark you as militant. Mark you as mad and belligerent. Man, fuck y'all images, fuck they images. He don't like me, she don't like me. Everybody seems to want me. Gone, gone, gone. But fuck it, they wrong, wrong, wrong. Say he don't like me and she don't like me. Everybody seems to want me. Gone, gone, gone. But fuck it, man, all y'all wrong. Who you calling a bitch though? What is you calling her a bitch for? Watch that bitch glow, watch that bitch blow. See, that's the part there that you didn't know. Getting mo. Why you hating on her black girl magic? Her black girl drive, all her black girl savage. So divine that she had to hashtag it. Her life matters and she had to have added. She been out here killing it. Didn't figure, but you acting like she ignorant. Paying her less, still magnificent. Watch her shatter that glass into little bits. Master degrees while you mastering mad. Master a master, holding you back. Master of madness and average. Basic and tragic, trash in her passion. Say he don't like me, she don't like me. Everybody seems to want me. Gone, gone, gone. But fuck it, they wrong, wrong, wrong. Say he don't like me and she don't like me. Everybody seems to want me. Gone, gone, gone. But fuck it, man, all y'all wrong. You done blackball me, redline me, whitewash me, still can't define me. Try and dick me down and then still deny me. Yeah, try and fuck me, sneak up behind me, but boom, I ain't bought up blinded, so boom, you ain't gotta remind me, cause bitch, my mind be like a flower in bloom. Sky with a room, that's the life assignment, and whom, what's in never should try me, then boom, big boom from what's behind me. Full pack of black excellent facts, black excellent acts, black excellent stats. Won't succumb to your bum ass acts, and when your bum ass come ass, I done no jack, and when your young ass come ass, I run that back, cause all my scholars had scars all upon they back. Now let's go. He don't like me, she don't like me, everybody seems to want me.